thought of for our Knox County headquarters. I really like this. I think it looks great. And Michael and Alex are leading our team here, and you're going to want to be sure and visit with them. Well, I have to tell you, and some of you've heard me say, number one question people will ask me, and Jason talked a little bit about it, so did Randy. They'll say, Marsha, why in the world do you want to run for the U.S. Senate? You're a wife, you're a mom, you're a grandmom, you're a public servant. Why go run for the U.S. Senate? That place is totally dysfunctional. And I always say that is exactly the reason to run for the U.S. Senate. We have a majority in the Senate, and they need to start acting like the majority that they are. We need them to do their job. They're a source of frustration for the people of this country. They're certainly a frustration for those of us that are in the House of Representatives. We want them to do their job. And I'm going to the Senate. I told Leader McConnell, I said, look, I'm coming to you as a force for conservative, positive change. And one of the things I've always been able to do pretty well is to initiate change. And you heard the Lieutenant Governor and Jason talk a little bit about the state income tax battle. I led that fight. We needed somebody to stand up and lead that fight, and I did it. And the people of this state joined me, and together we defeated that state income tax. And then our state legislators came along. They finished the job. They pushed forward a resolution to go to the people of the state, and in 2014, you amended our state constitution. We will never have a state income tax in the state of Tennessee. To help that out, when I went to Congress, I found a couple of folks that represented non-state income tax states. And I said, look, we've been through this battle in Tennessee. And one of the reasons they used for trying to force this income tax on us was to say, well, you know, but you could deduct it from your federal income tax. So I said, why don't we do this? Let's allow those of us in non-state income tax states to deduct the sales tax we pay every year from our federal income tax filing. So we did that, and since 2005, you have been able to deduct the sales tax you pay every year from your federal income tax filing. And former Lieutenant Governor, the late Lieutenant Governor John Wilder, would remind me every year, that one tax cut that I got passed is worth about $1 billion into the pockets of Tennesseans every single year. And now, Jason talked a little bit about Planned Parenthood. You all remember those videos. When it came out, they were selling baby body parts. The speaker asked me to lead that investigation. I did. It was a year-long investigation, but I led that, and at the end of the year, I issued 15 criminal referrals against Planned Parenthood and the baby body part sellers. And because of that work, today, Planned Parenthood and the body part sellers are facing a federal criminal investigation. One of the most significant bodies of pro-life work that has been done in our country. And might have made me the #1 target of Planned Parenthood, but it was good for the babies. Now, there are some things that, pardon me, there are some things that are going to be talked about a lot in this campaign, and they're the differences between my opponent and me. Now, Tennesseans are pretty definitive. I don't think Tennesseans are wishy-washy people at all. Tennesseans are pretty decisive. And we know what we want. And when it comes to their U.S. Senator, Tennesseans will tell you they want a conservative in the U.S. Senate.
Amen.
They want a U.S. Senator who is going to stand with President Donald Trump. And the number one thing that they talk about, they want to make certain that their U.S. Senator is going to be there to vote yes on the federal court and Supreme Court nominees that Donald Trump is sending forward. We have already seen Neil Gorsuch. We're about to get Brett Kavanaugh. We have had a total of 42 federal judges that are now on the bench, and it is important that we have constitutionalists, constructionists, people who are going to abide by the rule of law and not be activist judges trying to legislate from the bench. Tennesseans also want to make certain that their next U.S. Senator is going to be somebody who is going to vote for the Trump tax cuts. Now, if Phil Bredesen were to be the senator, he would be the vote to repeal the Trump tax cuts. He said he would have voted no on them. He called them crumbs, just like Nancy Pelosi called them crumbs. I'm going to tell you something. $1,700 per family of a lower tax rate, $1,700 in your pocket, that is not crumbs. That is a summer vacation. That is paying all the school fees for the kids. It is camp fees to go to camp during the summer. Might even be some UT football tickets. And so, this is not crumbs. Another thing that they say, and by the way, when Phil Bredesen was governor, you can ask the lieutenant governor, he'll tell you, he raised taxes about $1 billion. Raised them about $1 billion. If you give him $1, he's going to spend it. So what we're going to do is make certain that he is not there to repeal the Trump tax cuts. There is another thing Tennesseans want. They want somebody who's going to stand with President Trump and build that wall. Build that wall. They want a senator who is going to make certain that we ban sanctuary cities, that we make certain that we end chain migration, and that we do this with no amnesty. And I am going to be there with President Trump to build that wall. Now, Phil Bredesen, when he was governor, what did he do? He gave valid state-issued driving certificates to illegal aliens. He gave them. And the taxpayers paid for it. He made our state a magnet for illegal aliens who came here to get a valid state-issued ID. So, how can you say you're going to build a wall and support that when everything you stand for is opposite of that? Another thing that I've done is to make certain that I support our men and women in uniform and our veterans. And God bless you all. Where are our veterans? Wave your hands. Let us see you. Thank you. Thank you for your service. We appreciate that so very much. All the service that you have given that allows us to be here and to continue to be of service. And I know for all of us that are in elective service, we hope that our service honors your service. So we thank you so very much. Listen, we know the Democrats keep saying that there is a big blue wave that is coming this way. I keep saying when it gets to the Tennessee state line, the big blue wave is going to go crashing into the Great Red Wall. That red wall is you and me and all of us standing working together, because we know we can't win this race on our own. We know that. We know that it is going to take all of us. Look, we know Phil Bredeson's going to have the media and the money. The Democrats do. They do it every election cycle. And I was talking to Newt Gingrich this week. And think about it. The Democrats have been, they've had the media with them in every one of our big major wins. You go back to 94 and look what happened there. 2000. And then certainly 2010, 2016. The media wasn't with us in any of those. But we won because the people were with us and the policies where we stand are right.
Amen.
They are right. We need your help. We have door knocking that we're going to do. We've got door knocking teams that are going to be out today. And across the state, I think we've already knocked on over 60,000 doors.
Wow.
And we are making thousands of phone calls. So help us with the door knocking. Help us with all of the phone calls. Help me meet your friends. I spend a lot of time doing two things: raising friends. I like friends. And raising funds. So I need all of you to help me, meeting all your friends, and then I'll ask them for the funds. So, but I need your help so that we can win this race. It is going to be one of the most highly watched races in the country.
You're going to beat Phil Bredesen 60-40, don't worry.
I like your math. And in order to do that, we've got to have the help from every single one of you.
Amen.
So thank you for being here. Thank you for helping us. Go knock doors with us. Make phone calls with us. Talk to all your neighbors and your friends. Let them know that if they're not registered to vote, get them registered. Make certain that they're going to get to vote, and make certain that at the top of their ballot they are voting for Marsha Blackburn for Senate. Thank you so much.